clients. I am also an online entrepreneur, recently born in an online world. Just 2 years back, COVID basically, helped me take a plunge into online world, which I'll be sharing how I ended up doing online. So to start off, uh, COVID-19 and the associated lockdowns were quite disruptive for millions of people across the world. So many lost their jobs, so many lost their lives, so many were fighting for survival, and so many businesses went out of business. And obviously, stock market also tanked big time, and it was, everybody knows it was on a standstill. Everything was on a standstill. We know when things will normalize. We had no idea. But I'd like to share a quote which I think which helped me move ahead. Is despite the gloom and doom, there is always opportunity to bloom. Okay, so this COVID-19 has been a blessing in disguise for me. It gave us the time, because there was a time when you had nothing to do. Markets were tanking, and the investors were all, they were not kind of active. So there was nothing to do basically for 2-3 months. It gave me a time to reflect on what I exactly wanted to do further. So I have always been passionate about reading and research and everything, but there was one more activity which I was doing unconsciously a lot, but professionally I never did. I actually never did it. And so that was writing. Okay, my wife used to joke on me that you'll fill up. How many diaries will you fill it up? Why don't you write a book or something? That's what I always wanted to write, but then, for the first 21st, the first lockdown over, the first lockdown, I couldn't write for 21 days. It was completely, I was blank. And you can understand what happens when you have a toddler at home and a kid and a wife to attend to. So I was completely blank. But then, you had to kind of accept what it is, and then so my wife nudged me that why don't you get up early and start writing. Okay, so I started getting up at 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and I just wrote. And during those 3 months, I must have written about 75,000 words. I wrote 4 ebooks. And to promote those ebooks, I started writing on Quora. Quora is a question and answer social media platform. And Quora, I must have written about 130, 140 questions I must have answered. And that gave me a lot of visibility I could never really imagine. And within a short period of time, I had about 500,000 followers. And I mean, not followers, I had views, 500,000 views. I had about 1,000 followers. And in the month of June, I sold my first ebook. Which was I never really, it was just, let me put it up. And I sold my first ebook, and the ebook was priced at 7,500 rupees. Okay, I had deliberately priced it that high because it was the crux of my experience, what I was doing and the skills and everything I had put into it. So I just wanted, मैंने सोचा कि I am not going to give it away just like that, because it's my blood and sweat and everything that I have learned over a period of time. So I priced it at 7,500 rupees. And I sold my first in June, and I was really excited that this thing can be done. Even one sale was because online nobody knows. There are people, millions of people who are doing online things. Who are you? some guy from Vapi selling ebooks worth 7,500 rupees. So I started off, and if I fast forward 2 years, I must have sold about 6-7 lakh worth of ebooks, which is completely passive. You can say passive. I just wrote it once, and then I kept on writing and sharing my knowledge online and everything. And I got a lot of other opportunities also. I even conducted webinars and courses, and now I'm conducting online courses. So this has been a blessing in disguise for me. It completely changed my this thing, because I had a passive this thing which was earning it on its own. I mean, once you have written the book, once you have put it in the markets, you just have to kind of promote it in a way, where people like it and they just buy it. You don't have to go, simple and sell it. It sells automatically. So that is so great, and that has become a big part of my profession. And I would like to kind of move, my everything towards online thing. So I'm working towards that. So I also got an opportunity to speak to there is a company, software company in Pune. They organize every year some seminars, online seminars, because COVID was there, so online seminars were there. So I also got to, and though that training or webinar or whatever, that was seen by 30,000 people across India. So that also gave me a lot of boost basically, and I have a lot of followers on Twitter also. I have a email newsletter which I send out every week, and I have about 700 investors who wait eagerly to read my letter, and so it has helped me with the business which I had already, and a new income stream has started. So that's a brief this thing. It has completely transformed how I conduct the business nowadays. So that's about it. So what I wanted to say is that if you have something that you have been thinking of doing, just do it. You may never know. कहाँ पे क्या लग जाएगा, कैसा हो जाएगा, you will never realize that this will become a big part of your identity, and you'll feel so happy. I have never been this happy, and in last 2.5 years, because it's something completely unexpected. I just put it there. कोई लेगा तो लेगा, नहीं लेगा तो it doesn't matter. But it works basically. And online is such a big thing. If you can put a mark and if you can share some value, it's not that I was selling snake oil. जो भी था वो, it was very valuable. But if you can provide value to the people usually pay a lot of money for your products. So that's all that I want to share.
And currently what you are doing then?
Currently what I'm doing is, now I am creating a course, online course, pre-recorded online course. I have about, which will be run every quarter, where people can learn all these strategies of investment strategies and everything. And there will also be a community for them, so that they can share their learnings and learn from each other. Okay. And the other thing is, it also opened the doors for my another, you can say, venture related to this only, but it's online advisory services, automated online advisory services. You can say robo advisory. So that is also going to start in a few months time, couple of months maybe. So
sure. Now, how do you place your earlier career pre-COVID and this? How do you weight? Where do you put your weight more?
I will be putting I put more weight towards online thing, and now I have made that thing as a center of my whole other businesses. Because my content, my writing brings people. for all earlier business also, and for the education and online business also. The newsletter that I write and the blogs that I write is the core, it's a center where I will be getting all the customers for all my businesses.
Great. Yeah. Anyone, if you have anything or you want to know how he has done it, you can ask.
So you have an oncoming like an online webinar that is happening where we can register.
Yeah.
Yes, so I would like to attend.
Sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll let you know.
You need to keep us updated, and we'll keep everyone updated. Then.
Sure.
And what is the domain of your book? Like it's investment and finance?
It is investments. It is basically, you can say it's little advanced for those people who have never done it. Because it contains a lot of specific strategies which are basically used by a lot of hedge funds and big institutions, basically large traders, investors. They use this kind of strategies. So it requires a little bit of experience into the market. Let's say 1-2 years that you have done some investment in the market and some mistakes and some paid some tuition. Then it can be very helpful.
Yeah, so it can be used by people in this field.
Yeah. And the other thing I'd like to add is that because of this, I got a lot of calls for offline coaching. People were tired of online thing. हम लोगों को Zoom करना नहीं है, online में ये नहीं होता है. They said like you start offline coaching. So probably by the end of April or maybe first week of May, I'll be starting offline coaching classes. So I'll be teaching how to invest in stock markets for beginners also, as well as for advanced, those who have a little bit of experience. So I'll be taking weekend classes. And
No beginners there, he's men.
Weekend pe millionaire.
Yeah.
Weekend pe millionaire.
weekend pe millionaire, weekend pe billionaire. So that's all. That is the next coming up thing.
Thank you. Great. Anything else? No? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share whatever little I have learned over
Thank you.
last 2.5 years. Thank you.
Very inspiring and new for all of us. A thing that we have been pushing in our life. He always told us, I want to write, and we used to make fun. But then COVID gave that inspiration and space to do. And wonderful to know that he is achieving something that is influencing a lot of people. And his knowledge he is taking forward and sharing with us. We are very proud of him. Thank you. And hope we get an opportunity to invest through your expertise. Part of our money where it can grow. So we want one free weekend classroom for Startupvapi. You have to promise us that you have to give us free classroom.
Free
Free classroom for Startupvapi. પછી પાછળ નેક્સ્ટ ટાઈમ તમે પે કરી ગયા પાછું જેને આવો એ રિપીટ તે પે કરીને જાય.
Actually, ઇવેન્ટમાં અમે લોકો એ કહે કે જે નવું એન્ટ્રન્ટ હોય એન્કરિંગમાં ને એમાં just heart સાફ કર લો, mic સાફ કર લો, so that will be experience for you. The questions we ask and all, we will be making facts out.
No, that's a good idea. Basically, you taste.
You can test us, we can test you.
Yeah.
So I will take one more opportunity to talk about something that is very close to my heart before we move on to the last speaker of the day, then dinner. So Nahila just asked me that there has to be an interesting journey how Startupvapi has reached here. We want to hear it from you. It's a very big story. तो शायद बुक ही लिखना पड़ेगा तभी
लॉन्च साथ में रखेंगे
तभी वो हो पाएगा कि बहुत बड़ी जर्नी है लॉट मैंने अप डाउन एवरी ईयर आई थिंक मुझे क्लब बंद कर देना चाहिए बिकॉज इतने अपसेट्स आते हैं इतने डाउनफॉल आते हैं ऑलवेज आई थिंक अब आई टेल प्राची ये नहीं चलने वाला है अब लोगों को बहुत कुछ और मिल गया है टू डू टू इन्वेस्ट द टाइम इनटू बिजनेस कम्युनिटीज there are social organizations, there are bigger organizations in this world. तो इसकी जरूरत नहीं अब शायद लोगों को. And whenever I think someone comes up to me and tells me we want to do this and let's do this. So when I started thinking of closing this last year, Jigar came up to me and inspired me to do Startup Chat. जब भी मैं सोचता हूँ कि इसको बंद करना है, कोई एक नई अपॉर्चुनिटी आ जाती है इसके थ्रू करने की। So when Jigar brought this opportunity, we invested 6 months, और फिर बोला नहीं अब तो इसकी जरूरत है और चलना चाहिए और चलना चाहिए। So this keeps on happening always, and one big thing that this community brings. See, there are organizations that will give you business, there are other organizations that will give you social status, but social credibility, what this organization has given me, I cannot measure it. What I never knew 5-6 साल पहले जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया था, I will give one big example. So I was invited to event in Surat, Thai Surat. So there they had global Thai के जो members हैं, they represent Thai India. They were invited speakers, and it was a very big event because they were going under a transformation. Thai Surat is going under transformation, and they wanted to make some big announcements. I was the only one in that hall who was attending that event without paying the charge of Thai community. Everyone else was a member. Either they were mentors, they were investors, or Thai associate members. I was the only member who was attending that event, was an invitee, and I had paid none of the charges. Just because I represent a powerful community which has something greater in it to impact Startupvapi community. People were shocked, Vapi sir, yes. Just to attend this, yeah. But I was the only one who was not paying for it. I was not proud to not pay, but then it was a proud feeling that this platform has given me this opportunity to be among them. So yeah, it added a lot to my social credibility. And see, everyone cannot earn that social credibility by donating. We are always not at that stage. We always think that थोड़ा और कमाएंगे फिर donate करेंगे. I see biggies of Vapi, they donate because they have access. Entrepreneurs like Hardik, we are still building our life. Still building. So while building, if you want to create social credibility, this is the platform. It gives you visibility, it gives you that stature, it gives you that honor to be among good people, share your knowledge, and build social credibility. Okay? So please carry this message forward, and that is why you should keep coming back to this organization again. Okay? So thank you so much for listening to me again, and the time for our last speaker, Nahila. I think time here. She is always talking. मैं बोलना चाहूँ तो बंद नहीं होती. But then we have very strict rules as Startupvapi.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Krukshit, for having me here today. I had a chat with Krukshit almost a week back where he mentioned to me that I have an open mic session. And I asked him, what do you want me to talk about?